In a game called Build a Boat for Treasure, it has forever been my goal to explore a Roblox phenomenon known as the Null Zone. There's little documentation below the surface of the Null Zone. Or should I say above? So, I wanted to find out two things. One, I wanted to document deeper layers of the Null Zone. The Null Zone is an incredibly vast area, technically infinite in size. The surface goes for millions, or even billions of studs. 2. I wanted to find out why there was so little documentation of the deeper layers of the Null Zone. Was it maybe just something lame like it not progressing? That'd be awful. After working for people to get gifted ultra thrusters, I eventually get 100 ultra thrusters. I built a 4-stage rocket. I launched the first stage. It brings me to quite deep within the Null Zone's surface. Although, it's more of the edge of the Null Zone. My character glitches out and goes low poly. This is just by the time it runs out. After switching to stage 2, I eventually get to the edge of the edge. My character's model is absolutely destroyed, as it's only a few voxels now. Something to note is that I used all 2000 of my regular thrusters on the first stage as well. Anyway, with stage 3, we finally go deeper into the Null Zone. Interestingly, it's just as the very sparse documentation says, the sky turns red and the sun grows. This stage is a lot thicker than edge. Let's call it crimson. I've only seen one piece of documentation talk about the Null Zone beyond crimson. It was quite unreliable and they also lied about the crimson, however. Either way, with my extreme momentum, I actually get about 3/4 of the way through crimson before slowing to less than 1/50th of the crimson per second, at which point I fire stage 4. This actually propels me out of the crimson. Suddenly OBS closes in the background and the video file deletes itself. The game turns black and the sun is even larger. Everything else than the sky is still red. Even more suddenly, the boat goes back to 3D. It's been 2D since about 1/10 of edge. Were you waiting for drama? Good news, no more waiting. Suddenly the people in chat complain about lagging, as well as strange noises, getting worse and worse. As momentum carries me at 1/5 edges/second, the game's brightness increases more and more, and the game turns white slowly. We will now be using edges/second as a speed measurement. For instance, the crimson is about 30x the size of edge. I don't have a clue how large this layer is. Suddenly strange noises come from my game too, as people in the game are now complaining about random parts turning black. Surprisingly though, no one leaves as I somehow convince them that Jessic is in the server and is screwing around like always. My game then soon turns completely white, and then fades to red. Maybe it's safe to say this is a new stage? The destruction stage. Let's say the previous one was the corruption. So far here's my map. Crimson is 30x edge, corruption is 3x crimson, and destruction is unknown. Why do I call it destruction, you may ask? My desktop suddenly turns black. My game crashes, although the error box isn't a normal error box. It's the one with the yellow triangle and the exclamation mark. A warning, not an error. It simply says, Roblox has. Roblox has what? The error closes itself and the computer begins to go slowly. From 4.2 GHz to 3.5, to 3, to 2, to 1, to 500 MHz. As my computer is under low load. 500 MHz actually isn't that bad, and nothing is majorly lagging. Suddenly a noise occurs, it sounds like a piece of glass breaking. Even more suddenly, an error occurs saying, Roblox has, again. After I close the error, it appears again. Except now, it says, everything. Everything has what? My computer speeds back up to 2 GHz, its normal idle frequency. I start Roblox again to play Jailbreak. However, all text in the game is replaced with tags. Every text outside of decals and chat is censored. Instead of, for example, saying, "Arrest, $450, it says tags. It's seriously like it's being censored. Suddenly the game crashes, my computer then turns to a white screen and then a blue screen. Not the BSOD, just a solid blue screen. And then it goes back to what looks like normal. I'm very cautious and I have trust issues due to the fact that I have developed a game 4 times with people pretending to support it but actually hating it secretly. I don't trust this innocent-looking desktop. Nonetheless, I helped people in Build a Boat again, over the span of a few months. I now had 3,000 Ultra Thrusters, mainly because I helped a really famous person and he gave me 10,000 Robux worth of them. I built a 6-stage rocket to get into the Null zone again. Just 1 second, it's into the Crimson. The next second it's in the Corruption. So it's going about 15 edges per second. This is just stage 1. It goes through the destruction stage so fast that it actually ignores it. It's actually just 2x the size of Edge. After it is the death stage. The game is now purple. Everyone in the server has a game crash, apart from myself, and the skybox is solid purple. This stage is approximately 100 corruptions long, so I have a good few minutes to go through it. As it happens, I hear clicking and the drive light is on, flashing. A minute in, I get suspicious and close the game. Again, that stupid Roblox appears again. So, anyway, I was working on a painting. I decided to go work on that, but my pictures folder was empty. Same with all of my personal files. The only things remaining were Roblox, Firefox, and Windows. I open Roblox again, this time with no mercy. I build an entirely new game with super powerful thrusters. It can pass through the corruption in less than half a second. It gets through the death stage. After that, my whole computer screen turns black. The power light on my monitor turns white. I've only ever seen it red and blue. After a few pops, black smoke comes pouring out of both the computer and the monitor, while they are strangely still on. Suddenly, as the smoke fills the room, the monitor turns back on, strangely still with the white power status. It's a very distorted image of my desktop. No taskbar, no icons, no nothing. I would try to open Task Manager, but the USB devices aren't working anymore. The smoke was now in my face, so I opened my window and left for a few minutes. When I came in, everything was off, the lights, my heater, my computer, and my monitor. I turned the lights on and came to the computer. Pressing the power button. More smoke came out, but it turned on. The monitor's power light turned green now, and it restarted itself. It was back to what appeared to be normal, although I didn't trust it. Enough's enough, I thought. I went to the Roblox Wikia and documented the stages. Right before clicking save, my cursor disappeared. I couldn't click it. Suddenly Firefox closes again. The background goes to solid purple with weird squiggles on it. It sort of looked like pixelized text, so I threw it into a text depixelizer AI. It read the following: PLAESE, kept a secret. The grammar was obviously bad since the AI wasn't perfect, but this was a bit confusing. No, I thought. I opened a VM and did it there. After clicking save, it worked. I could go to the article. When I went to the article on my real computer, it closed. The VM turned to a black screen saying, "Please." I tried to go back to the article but it was deleted. I decided to write a notepad document and upload it to TikTok, as well as why it's in such a weird format. This worked too, but a few minutes later my phone was heating up. My TikTok account was mysteriously permanently banned, and my desktop was now a green screen reading, "Stop now, or else." So I stop and instead try to stealthily tell people about it in Discord, trying to be all hidden, such as the capital hidden technique, where for example help could be, "Hello, there is no problem here," so that's pretty good. The weird thing didn't complain and my friends now knew about it. My desktop was back to normal. Tomorrow morning, I logged on to Discord to see something horrifying. My friends were screaming for help in the chat as they said they were talking about the Null Zone to other people and their stuff was dissolving into black smoke, including themselves. I had immediately felt terrible guilt. My friends. They were gone. I just had to tell them, didn't I? Well, here we are again. I am very likely going to regret this, but I am now submitting this as a creepypasta on the Roblox Creepypasta wiki, in hopes that maybe that Null monster won't attack me or the readers again. Just be careful how you explore. And please, remember the famous saying, curiosity killed the cat.